a kind of reintroduction. For those of you, I feel like I'm brand new. I've been doing this work for particularly helping women step into power with money, women entrepreneurs, for since 2015, and coaching overall since 2011. But with this pivot that I've done this year with focusing on melanin transformational leaders, it's a pivot, meaning I made a deliberate decision to focus exclusively on mission driven melanin transformational leaders. And I'll get into a bit more about the distinction because of some feedback that I've gotten over the last 45 days or so. And so, shout out to YouTube. So my look is a bit different because I'm getting a new tripod, and so the location is a bit different. Hey, YouTube. So before I go into the content, which, by the way, again, today's topic is convert your next six figures. Before I get into that, which I like to, be very clear about who this is for so you can invest your time wisely. So I'm the founder and CEO here in Melanin Sovereignty, and our focus is mission-driven melanin transformational leaders who are ready to lead and actually build a company, okay? And not just any old company, but a genuinely impactful transformational company, meaning they're very clear that the business that they're building, the impact that they're having, is to not only affect and the people they will serve in their lifetime, but in the lifetime once they pass and leave planet Earth. And so I know in the industry of coaching and transformation, there's a lot of this get more clients language, get more clients, get more clients. And that's fine, right? What I'm getting at here is really the mindset behind who we're serving. So there's the people who just want to serve a few clients every month, right? And this is fine. This is not okay. I'm just being clear in my communication so the folks who are meant to be here can invest here, and those who are not can go elsewhere. There are plenty of other melanin coaches who teach coaches how to get more clients who just want to, pay their bills, live a nice life, right? We're about the work that you're doing is who we're serving, right? Their work that they're doing is so large, and the amount of money that you will create is so large that minimally you will live a nice life. Largely, you will have a great impact. You will sleep well. You will have deep fulfillment. You will do work that will last beyond your time here. I mean, it's a whole bigger commitment. It's a bigger way of thinking. And so just be clear about that. My coaching, I actually had this epiphany this morning, surprisingly, that my coaching and mentoring is for business builders, people who are building businesses, meaning you are hiring team. You recognize that you being the salesperson and the social media person and the customer service person and the email checking person and the strategy person is not the way to build a business, right? That's who solo entrepreneurs who are just serving, maybe 10 clients a month, and right, that's not who we're serving, right? We're here for those of you who are aware that there's a way of being and there is a thinking that is required to build a company where you have departments and you hire team to fill those departments so that you focus in on what you do as the CEO, and you have a strong sales team, and you have a strong marketing team, you have a strong social media team, and you are stewarding this larger vision. Okay. You're stewarding this larger thing that is bigger than you. I am loving my camera. I have a new phone. I can't wait to look and see what this video looks like when I'm done. Because if it looks as good when it's done as it looks to my eye right now, damn. So with the content that I'm getting ready to go into with converting on camera, it's about you being the face of the company and the three things, right? And here are the three things. One, conviction. Two, authority. And three, value. Like Converting on camera requires that. Now, obviously, there's more. Like there's strategy. You don't just pop on, throw on your camera, come with conviction and authority and value, and there's no strategy to that. Yeah, there's strategy, right? And so the link with this video is where I'm going to help you actually implement a strategy. So on October 12th to the 16th, I'm leading a training, a 5-day training called Leverage and Convert. I'm so excited about this. Leverage and Convert. Okay. And for 5 days, I am holding your hand on how to implement a system that it was it was birthed out of an emergency. I was an American living in Paris. I had this strong desire to host an event in London. It was this download that came, right, to host this event in London. And okay, I said yes, right? So this is very irrational. You know, the game of taking quantum leaps, meaning you say things, you say yes to downloads and right, desires that come through that you don't know how yet, right? So long story short, I said yes. And basically, I ended up leveraging other people's networks, people who didn't even know me. You're going to have some advantage, assuming that you have some kind of network who knows, likes, and trusts you. But so these people did not know me, but they saw the value because of what I had, my history of what I had already been creating. And through implementing this leverage and convert system, we ended up not only filling our event room at a great, beautiful hotel in London, we ended up doing 5 figures in new business to a 99% cold audience. Like, really take that in. 99% cold audience, 99% cold audience in London doing 5 figures in new business. Then I was so blown away that we had that kind of success with this thing that was just birthed out of an emergency that I said, okay, let me do this again online, like for online course and online trainings and online things, implemented it. And man, I have so many success stories just last year, right? Because this system was birthed in 2017. I've just never taught it. I've just used it inside of my company. But last year, I used it to sell a course. And in 3 weeks, we did multiple 5 figures to a new audience with a new program that I had never even sold before. Multiple 5 figures in new business to a new audience, leveraging other people's networks. So this system works, it's powerful. It helps with your branding. It helps with your leadership. Also, if you don't have a big following, I have never had a large following. For those of you who have followed me for years, you know, you go to my YouTube channel, I don't have a bunch of views. When you go to my Instagram and my Facebook and you look at my comments and you go back to 2015 up till now and look at the comments and the likes. I don't have a lot. And one of the reasons why that is because I positioned myself in 2015 as a premium brand, as a premium coach. And when you're a premium coach, you don't need to sell $1,099 courses to make substantial income. When you're positioned premium, 2 clients could be $100,000 for you. Like, where let's say you got $50,000 packages, $10,000, but you sell 2 $10,000 packages in a month, 2 clients, that's $20,000. For a lot of people, that's more than enough. And so because I was positioned that way, I've never had to sell a lot. And also, the myth online is that if you got a lot of followers and you got a lot of comments and you got a lot of engagement, that somehow that means you're making a lot of money. The truth is, the people who are actually investing 5 figures, multiple 5 figures and 6 figures to work with you, they're likely not the people who are commenting and liking your stuff. They're watching to see if you're being consistent. They're watching for authenticity and they're watching for value if you're the one. When I tell you, I say 9 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, but about 9 out of 10 of my clients over the years who have invested $27,000 to work with me, $50,000 to work with me, $15,000 to work with me, were not commenting, liking on my posts. I didn't even know they were following me. Or maybe they were following me and they were quiet. And so it appeared that they weren't interested. That's the myth, especially when you're a premium brand. You don't know many Black premium coaches in the marketplace. So you probably don't know this information. Me pivoting in this way and focusing on melanin transformational leaders is a new thing. So it sort of forced me to return back to the basics of, value, ideal client demographic, right? Because my ideal focus was not melanin transformational leaders last year. So there's like me, sharing in this way as a kind of returning to the basics, which basically is required for everybody too. Like, who's your ideal client? What problem do you solve? Why you? And how do you do it? Like, that's it right there. That fundamentally, that's how you're serving your people at a core level. So I say all that to say that this system works even if you don't have a large following, because remember, you're leveraging other people's networks. Other people's networks. So even if you don't have a lot of likes and comments and followers, it doesn't matter. You're leveraging other people's networks. And so inside of this training, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to dig for the gold that's right in front of you. I'm really excited to share this. It's really amazing what is birthed out of emergency and how it can serve yourself and others. All right, so now let's get into it. Let's get into the three, and there's more, right? I'm just going to focus on three for today's video. And those three are conviction, authority, and value. Write that down. Conviction, authority, and value. Okay? Now, what is conviction? Here's an example. How many health coaches do you know? How many business coaches? How many shamans and conscious leadership mentors and goddess mentors and parenting coaches and CEO coaches and relationship coaches and, lose belly fat coaches and gut health coaches and, right? How many do you know? Right? And then how many do you see that have good information? A lot, right? People have good information. The information is plenty. Frankly, with enough commitment and work, you could build a six-figure business by yourself, watching YouTube videos, Googling things, picking up free information from here. Like, if you have the hustle, the work ethic, the commitment, and the power to see it through, right? A lot of people can start. A lot of people don't finish without accountability and having their hand up. But if you can see it through, which is an exceptional individual, you can do that through a lot of free information and free webinars, etc. So what's going to have you with your value and information, and someone who does something like you or similar to you with a great information and value? How does one measure, right? One, it's conviction. How convinced and convicted are you about what it is that you do? One of my former coaches used to always say, sales is the transference of energy. Sales and the transfer of energy. So somebody is selling somebody all the time. When you are, and you can apply this to business and outside of business. When you're dealing with your child to get them to do something, they're trying to sell you on why they should not or why they should. They want something, they're selling you on why they should. You're selling them on why they should not. And there's a transference. You transfer to them, they transfer to you, and somebody is persuading the other to do something or holding the frequency of getting that person to a yes or no decision. So when you are, you get on camera and you call yourself giving value, right? Because I don't know about you, but I'm seeing people all over the place doing Facebook Lives and summits and Instagram Lives, and they're cool, they got good information, but there's no conviction, right? And let's say you're getting out there and you're giving it, but there's a part of you that's like, well, everybody else is doing it, well, there's nothing different about me. And you kind of secretly, feel like, you lack the conviction. You lack the conviction to follow up with somebody powerfully. You lack the conviction to DM somebody with this powerful expectation, because actually secretly you're kind of like not convicted yourself. You're unwilling to hire somebody because you actually know that you're not even convinced about who you are and what you're doing. This is the power of conviction, right? So going on, number 2, authority. What do I mean by authority? Authority meaning you are the one. And you hold yourself as you are the one. Never mind, there are 19,274 other health coaches. You are the one. Never mind that Instagram is saturated with folks selling gut health and lose weight and find your man and, make your next 6 figures. Never mind. You are the one. and really holding that in the way you speak. And this is a way of being, right? I mean, this is what I'm really going to drill into you inside of the 5-day leverage and convert training. You're going to have an opportunity to be saturated, right? Because I know what it's like to be scrolling Instagram and scrolling Facebook and knowing what you should be doing and feeling like you should be having a greater impact and making more and feeling like nobody sees you, nobody is speaking your language, nobody is really doing it, everybody's talking about it, right? And just sort of like never really, like really in it, never really at it, right? Inside of this 5 days, you get a chance to get out of that like sluggish funkiness and come into a vortex of accountability, of really having this absorbed into your system about authority, conviction, value, strategy, authority, conviction, value, strategy, authority, conviction, value, strategy, and having this 5 days to really saturate yourself with it so that you are moved by it. Right? So that because of you being in the 5 days, you do show up on camera with conviction. You do show up on camera with more authority. You do convert more business. You do DM people who you know already respect and value you, so they can interview you, right? And you do it with authority and conviction because you're being saturated inside of this 5-day training, because you are becoming this as a first nature way of being versus, on YouTube scrolling for free video to learn how to do something, or, basically trying to cheap your way through getting to your next 6 figures. It's a mindset, people. It's a mindset. And yes, it's more, but damn it, I'm just doing this one video right here, right now. Okay. All right. So that's number 2. So again, conviction. Number 2, authority, a way of being, right? Which is not only a mindset, but it's a frequency that you hold. Okay. And we teach you all this inside of the 5-day training and beyond. Number 3 is value. Like, I mean, I know that's common sense. Let's be clear, right? I'd like to talk about something that's I only see 8-figure business owners talking about this. So I'm going to share this with you because you got to start thinking like a multiple 7-figure, 8-figure business owner if you're going to, as I said, build a mission-driven, generationally impactful company. Mission-driven, generationally impactful company. That's who we're serving here, right? The real value is in originality, meaning like downloads that come through you that you disseminate. But I download and disseminate all the time, right? You could download and disseminate all the time. Then what? The next real value is accountability. So for those of you who are already in the industry, you already know that courses are a big thing, right? You got Danielle Leslie, who I think she said she did 5 million last year selling courses. That's fucking impressive, right? That's inspiring, right? But do you know that in a course, there's no accountability typically? There's no hand holding. I have a client right now who Danielle Leslie's course is sitting on the shelf. This is, and be clear, this is not talking against Danielle Leslie. I encourage what she does. I believe in courses. I'm glad that she's a melanin woman in the marketplace doing multiple 7 figures. It's time to see more of us. So this is not about Danielle Leslie and she shouldn't be doing courses. This is about knowing what the fuck you're doing. Are you going to build courses where, yes, you can make a ton of money, but just know that maybe the statistics say that 4 to 15% of people who buy a course actually complete it and get results. That means if 100 people buy your course, anywhere from no more than about 15 people are going to complete and get results from your course. Does that work for somebody who's building a generationally impactful, mission-driven business? Meaning people actually change and get results and transform as a result of your work. So the real value is in the accountability inside of a program where week to week to week to week to week to week over an extended period of time, people's hands are held. And I don't mean like in an elementary kind of way, right? Because we're not dealing with rookies here, but I mean where you have numbers that are being tracked, you're being held accountable. You something happens in a week that you're thrown off your game, or something in your personal life happens, all right? You have somewhere where you're coming where that is worked through, right? You are measuring and tracking, and you have that accountability week by week by week by week, over 6 months to a year. That is where change happens, not in a do it your why course that you get to do it at your own comfort and your own leisure when you get around to it, which is almost never, right? So when I say value as a mission driven leader, the value that you're bringing is the downloads that are exclusive to you, and learning the art of enrollment, converting on camera, which is strategic, which is what I'm going to teach you inside of this training, then holding people's hands through the process. And when I say holding their hands, I mean an accountability, a container, an environment where there's hand holding. And you've been in the game, so you already know, right? You already know that people show up, they're excited, right? And then they go off and nothing much else comes from that, right? We ain't new to this. We've been doing this. So I encourage you to click the link with this video. Okay, let me finish this and then I'll go on, because I just was thinking about the next thought. Melaninsovereignty.com is where you go with this link is with this video to register for the 5-day training. And also, yes, so we did the Melanin Sovereignty Summit. So YouTube, we didn't talk about the summit here on YouTube. So you guys missed it. It was it was September 7th through the 15th. And that was another place where I realized it was really time for me to return to first of all, before the summit was wonderful. It was I learned a lot. Because again, I'm new to really focusing on melanin leaders. And so it was a great learning experience about where the gaps are and the different levels that people are at, and how much I still am assuming things based on my career and what I've been doing. And Naima, don't assume. So there was that. But the next summit, first of all, we had over 10 speakers. I can't remember the exact number, but over 10 speakers. And the topics we focused on were money, identity, spirituality, sexuality, and high spirituality. I wish there would have been more about sexuality. But it was great. It was great. It was great. That finished last Tuesday. And what I'm excited about is the next one is the holiday edition that is happening in December. I love Christmas, so I'm so excited to really get into the Christmas spirit around this, and you guys will hear more about it as it comes. So if you are aware of the last summit and you loved it, and you would like to contribute and be a part of the next one as a speaker, then send an email to help@melaninsovereignty.com, help@melaninsovereignty.com, and we will send you a package of information, because we got lots of great feedback from this summit, and the next one is going to be so much better. And we're going to incorporate some ways to add more value to our speakers so you get a greater return on your investment. One of the things I'm excited for us to integrate is like having a page, an independent page, where people who view you can, they don't have to go like dig you up or go back to your video, or remember they have a link where they can go where all the speakers are listed with their contact information, etc. So things like that to make it greater return on your investment. And much more will be announced as we get closer to the date. And it'll also be in the packet for those who email us with interest to be a speaker. You'll get a packet with the details of what we're doing, what you can expect, and what's the value for you and what's expected of you, as well as a speaker. So that's the Melanin Sovereignty Summit Holiday Edition, happening in December. The dates are December 7th through the 11th, I believe. That's a Monday through Friday. And so that's it as far as the summit is concerned. So, in closing, remember that to convert on camera, right? And this happens over time. So, and one thing I didn't mention, but I'll talk about more inside the actual training is learning and implementing the difference between short-term video strategy and long-term video strategy. And I'll just say very quickly here, long-term strategy is what you see, like even for me here, I'm going to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific through December 4th. That's more of a long-term strategy. But you could even do it for a year. I mean, like you could do it longer. But I'm not going to be here the 12th through the 16th because of the training. But from now through December 4th, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like that's a longer term strategy, right? Then there's a strategy where you are on camera to send folks somewhere. Like even now, I'm sending you to another training that's going to be a deeper dive. You see what I mean? Like there's so many different ways to convert on camera. So I'll go into it, the nuanced ways, the way to strategize, the way to even think about how you're going to organize your strategy. I'll go into that inside of Leverage and Convert, which is happening October 12th through the 16th. The link is with this video. The website is melaninsovereignty.com to register for that. And I am done for the day. I look forward to seeing you all who will join me on Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific.